I am no longer investing in Canada. Even after owning 50 single-family detached properties, rental properties, I will never buy one ever again. I sold them all off, took all the money, cashed out, and now I'm going down to the US with my partners and buying properties in Florida and Texas. And this video is about how to teach you how to avoid paying taxes, double taxation, legally. Now, by the way, before I get into this, I have a super in-depth course in the description below about how to invest in the United States as a Canadian. Totally free, dude. I'm gonna teach you everything, A to Z, how to do it, totally free, no catches. Just get in that course, get it for free. But in this video, let's briefly talk about the benefits of knowing how to do taxes, and especially in America, how amazing the tax system is. So first things first, when you buy a property in the US as a Canadian citizen, 9 times out of 10, the lender is gonna require you to buy that property in an LLC, a limited liability corporation, which is super cool. We get lower taxes, and of course, we protect ourselves should things go wrong, should somebody sue us, should we go bankrupt. Having an LLC is super cool. And I find it very interesting because in Canada, if you try and buy a property in a corporation, our version of an LLC, the banks fucking hate it. You're never gonna get financed, and if you do, you're paying way higher rates, 10%, 12%. At the time making this video is probably what TD or Scotiabank or RBC is gonna charge you if you dare even try buy a property in a corporation. But in the US, it's capitalistic, man. The banks get what you're doing. You're a real estate investor, you're buying properties, you're making them look sweet, you're gonna rent them out. They understand the game. And because they understand it so well, they're like, dude, you're not buying this property by yourself. Are you kidding me? You're not buying in your personal name. We require you to form an LLC and buy it in a corporation because that's sweet. It's America. It protects you, protects us, protects everybody. That's how it's gotta be done. But here's the little thing most people don't understand. If you buy a property solely in an LLC, I'm buying a property in Florida, I create Florida ABC LLC. As a Canadian, you're gonna get double tax. Now here's the thing. Double tax is something that scares a lot of people. They don't understand it fully. And the misconception is if you have a tax rate, it's 50% in Canada, which is super easy to get to, by the way, it's criminal. But people think, okay, you're gonna pay taxes in the US, whatever, 20, 30%, let's say people think. And then after you pay tax to the IRS, you're gonna take your money home and Trudeau's gonna tax you another 50% on top of that. That's not how it works. It sounds like double taxation, but it's not how it works. How double taxation works is if you're buying a property in Florida, for example, in an LLC, you're only paying 5% tax to the state of Florida for corporation. In personal name, it is 0%, but don't be persuaded. We want to buy an LLC, so we're paying 5% to Florida, and then the IRS tax is about 15 to 20%. It hovers around there. So let's just say 20% in total goes to the IRS. You make your money from Airbnb, whatever, you're paying 20% tax to the IRS. Cool. Now, Trudeau's gonna go, okay, so your tax rate in Canada is 50%. Welcome to the high club of making, I don't know, $96,000, gets you to that 53% tax rate. So stupid. But anyway, he's gonna go, cool, you've already paid 20% to the US, awesome. I'm gonna bump you up to your 53%. So you owe me 33% tax. You're bumped up to 53. So basically, it's no different than you buying a property in Ontario, in Alberta, in Newfoundland, whatever. You're gonna pay the same tax as a Canadian. But here's the thing. There's always a way around double taxation, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. The way my accountants and my lawyers have set it up for me is it is a 3-tiered corporate structure. So at the very top, we have a C Corp. Matt Pichet owns 100% of Ohio C Corp. Why we did Ohio? It's the cheapest to file an LLC and is one of the quickest. It was like $150, I think it was, to file this C Corp in Ohio. Super cheap. And I paid my lawyer it was like $500, whatever. C Corp at the top is a nameless entity, okay? And then we have a limited partnership. Now the limited partnership is the trick to all of this. If you make any money in a limited partnership, Trudeau can't touch any money you make. There's a tax treaty between the two countries. I don't know why they did this. Thank God they did. Maybe they overlooked it. I don't know. But Canada says, cool, if you make money in a limited partnership in America, it's the only way we can't double tax you. So they're kind of telling you what to do. But here's the thing. To make a limited partnership, the word partner means more than one. Now you could make a limited partnership with you and your buddy Steve or whatever, but this is why we made that Ohio C Corp, okay? It's a living entity. So the C Corp is at the top and it owns 99% of the limited partnership. Matt Pichet personally owns 1%. So there's the two people, but it's me. It's the same dude. It's me. Two entities. The C Corp owns 99%. Matt Pichet personally owns 1%. Cool. And then under that is the LLCs that you buy. So Florida LLC, Texas LLC, Georgia LLC, whatever. Because the lenders in each state are going to go, we want you to buy this in an LLC. It's the only way. But they don't tell you if you buy solely in an LLC, Matt Pichet personally owns the LLC and the money flows back to Canada. chop, chop, chop. Trudeau's going to get you, okay? They won't tell you that because they don't care, and it's not their knowledge to know this. So you got to know this with your lawyers and stuff like that. So the limited partnership owns the LLCs underneath. So the money flows up to the limited partnership and stays there. So all the money I make from the Airbnbs in Florida, in Texas, whatever, they all flow up to the limited partnership bank account, and it just sits there. Doesn't move. It doesn't go to the Ohio C Corp. It doesn't go to Matt Pichet in Canada. It doesn't go to the other LLCs. No. The money flows up and it stays in the limited partnership. And as long as that money stays there, from my understanding, from my lawyers and my accountants, Trudeau can't touch it. All the money's tax-free for Canada. You pay taxes obviously in the US, but you only pay the 20% tax. That's it. Now, that's pretty friggin' sweet, but you're gonna say, but Matt, what if I'm in Canada and I wanna use that money, to live on in Canada? It's not the exact strategy we can do, but there's always a way. You just gotta be creative. In the LP, you're gonna buy other properties in the US that spits off cash flow. Maybe you private lend that money, and then the interest you're making, maybe that flows back to Canada and you pay the bullet on, that small piece. But the principal, dude, you never want to get the principal money out of that LP. Leave it in there, dude. Leave it in the US. Leave it in USD. Buy more real estate. Invest in the S&P 500, in the stocks, whatever. But don't take that principal out. You can live off the interest it makes, which is what I do in Canada, okay? I private lend. I love private lending. It's a great supplement for my lifestyle. Super easy, boring money. I love it. The principal, the millions of dollars I lend out never leaves the corporation, but I live off of the interest. The interest I'll take, and I'll pay tax on that, no problem, but I'm never taking that out because that's when you get taxed. When you take money out of a corporation in Canada, you get slapped for that. The government says, what are you doing? No, leave it in there or else I'll tax you. So you just have to know how taxes work in Canada and America to understand how to be a sophisticated investor. And by the way, again, get that course below. Free course on how to invest in the US. Check it out. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is living in the US. And Matt, should you get a visa? I heard about this E2 visa. What's that? Okay, so if you want to live in the US full-time as a Canadian citizen, the easiest and popular one is an E2 visa. Basically means you're a businessman. So what most people do, and the easiest thing that I recommend, is if you're a real estate investor, the IRS doesn't really like real estate investors because they understand it's a more passive business. And if you're coming to America, they want you to be active business, providing jobs for their citizens, actually doing stuff, not just buying rental properties and being like, yeah, I'm a real estate investor. They know what you're doing. And they're going to say, no, that doesn't qualify. It's not good enough. If you are a real estate investor, you can start or buy an existing property management business that manages your many properties you're going to buy. That's an active business. Cool. So there's always a workaround, okay? But what most people mostly do is they'll buy an existing car wash. They'll buy an existing hair salon business. And the requirement really is, and it's not set in stone, but they say if you buy a business for 100,000 USD or more, it's pretty much guaranteed. You're getting that E2 visa. You can live in the US full time. Now, some people try and buy a business for 40,000, for 50,000 and try their luck and they meet resistance. Basically, the US wants some resistance. They want you to be real, have money, not just be some brokey coming to America. They have enough of those, right? So they want you producing and doing stuff. And what I've seen a lot of people do as well is start their own business, which is a little harder, but also very easy. So if you don't have 100 grand, you're like, Matt, but I really want to live in the US. I'm a real estate investor. One of the things you can do, like I said, is start a property management business for yourself. Or the easiest one, probably, if you're gonna be a flipper and do a lot of properties, is start your own construction business, which is what I do in Canada. I have my own business, my own guys on payroll. So much better than hiring subcontractors. So maybe you start your own ABC renovation company and you employ 4 guys, but you spend only like 10 grand on tools or like whatever, right? Like minimal. That will still qualify. And then actually, I know a lot of people that did that exact same thing and they got stamped super easy. So if you want to live in the US full time, the E2 visa is what you're looking at. However, for me personally, Matt, what do you do? Well, I still like Canada during the winter, or sorry, not the winter. Are you kidding me? During the summer. So we live in Florida during the winters, and then we come back to Canada in May, and then we go back again after Christmas. So kind of the best of both worlds. So we rarely have a winter. And then in the fall, especially for September, October, November, we always travel to Costa Rica or Europe specifically. So our lifestyle is, we enjoy traveling a lot. It doesn't really make sense for us at this point to live in the US full time and do all that stuff, even though it's very easy and we could obviously. For now, the free 6-month snowbird visa that you already get granted free for simply being a Canadian and holding a Canadian passport is good enough for us. But some of you out there, you want to leave and live in the US full time. That's how you're going to do it. So why even do all this? Why even invest in the US? Why move there? Here's the thing. Taxes are way friggin' lower, especially if you do the 3-tier structure. Like I said, the price price of real estate is a joke. Like the properties in Kitchener, let's just say, which if you don't know where that is, it's 1 hour south of Toronto, pretty major city, but not really, right? To buy one detached house with a garage, 800,000, 900,000 easily, okay? So that same house in Florida, 10 minutes from the ocean, dude, is like 350,000, 400,000. Are you kidding me? In sunny, warm Florida, next to an ocean, you know, a world-class kind of attraction. Or you can buy the same house in Kitchener-Waterloo that nobody's ever heard of. Like, so the price of real estate is a gong show. It's so much better. It cash flows more, even with the foreign national mortgage you're going to get, which yes, you're going to pay higher interest rates than a born natural citizen in America, obviously. Even with that, it still cash flows way more. Taxes are better. Landlord-tenant board rules are way better in these southern states than Ontario. So for all these reasons, you know, that's why I'm moving to the US with my money for now. I'm no longer buying anything in Canada anymore for long-term real estate. I'm buying them all in Florida and Texas. I'm done. I'm bringing the partners down there. I'm hauling them down. We're buying all the real estate there. Cool. Like it's just so much better. It makes so much more sense. And knowing what I know now as a savvy business owner and real estate investor for the past 12 years, you know, I wish I would have known this a long time ago, but hey, we're here now. I can't invest in Canada anymore. It makes no sense. It's not smart business. We're going all in on the US. So if you like this video, you got any information, smash that like button. It goes so far to helping this channel grow. Also, man, don't forget to grab that free USA course below in the description. I'll teach you exactly how to invest in the US from A to Z. I'll see you in the next video.